Screen time salutations to all you internet dwellers out there, and welcome to another episode of Screen Time Continuum. I am Nick, and I am joined, as always, with Keelan. Hey, man, happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday, brother. What's going on?
It's a boys' Sunday. Can't complain. Yeah, everything's doing all right. You're doing okay over there?
I'm doing great. I am prepared for this boys' Sunday, and I think on boys' Sunday we got to make an effort to go and find some old backgammon or poker game on YouTube to watch as a group.
Yeah, there you go. Go do some real bonding.
That's right.
Maybe not the bonding that we saw in this episode, but yeah.
Fair.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Hope that you're having a lovely Sunday evening or whenever you're checking us out. We appreciate all of you out there who watch. And we're going to be talking about The Boys Season 3, Episode 6 tonight, called Herogasm. And this one came out on Friday. We're a couple days behind, but that's okay. It gives you some time to watch the show. And then you can join us for the conversation. And this will be your spoiler alert. If you have not seen the episode, you should probably go watch that and then come back to us and hear what we have to say about it. But yeah, enough yammering. Let's just jump right into the episode. So, Keelan, episode 6, what did you think? First impressions.
First impressions of episode 6. Coming off of episode 5, it was like the exhale of a deep breath inhale. I enjoyed episode 6. There were a couple of things in episode 6, but I'm getting it's crazy that I have to say this now because I realize I haven't really said it earlier. But I clearly am just now wrapping my head around the fact that this whole let's just call it the angle. It's just going to continue and persist and get even stronger and more momentous, so to speak, as the season pursues. And as entertaining as the agenda is, it's quite fucking annoying. But within that, it's still enjoyable. And yeah. I enjoyed episode 6 for sure. But that's probably my main takeaway. Everything outside of that agenda, fun. Loved it.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. Honestly, I don't know what it is, but I kind of felt myself a little bit bored in this episode too. There's some absolutely great scenes that we'll talk about very shortly that I really enjoyed, but I did feel myself kind of like, okay, we're dragging this up again. We're doing this again.
Right.
It felt like it was a little bit sluggish, but there was some payoff, which I thought was great. Yeah, the agenda stuff is a little heavy-handed, and it doesn't feel like it adds a whole lot to the story.
Right.
So that makes it feel a little bit overly done, and throws you out a little bit of the immersion. But I still laughed. There were still some chuckles in there. And yeah, so I'm not going to let the overbearing politics of it, weigh down my experience. I think, I can enjoy it just fine, but I did roll my eyes a few times.
As you should have. And I don't know. I'm not going to make it seem like I don't think it was intended. I think they are trying their absolute best to access the cringe factor. And I don't know if they're executing. I think some of the things we're just deep into the weeds on all of this shit naturally in real life. So it goes from being shock and awe to just kind of being annoying at a certain point.
Yeah, it's interesting because I saw a lot of people online not overreact, but like really reacting to this episode and saying, oh my God, this is crazy. And maybe it's because the heroes have been so insane, or the boys have been so insane for the past however many episodes that I'm a little bit desensitized to it. I kind of felt like Herogasm was pedantic, to be honest. I was why are we even doing this?
That's so season 1.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I thought. I was like, damn, I thought we were beyond this. Like, this doesn't really, I don't know. What is this adding to the whole thing? Not a whole lot.
If I'm being honest, so we started this season with termite walking into a pee hole, a urethra hole. And I thought that was like, oh, okay, they're going back to the sex stuff again. And that was cool because it was terribly funny. Right. But the Herogasm, I'm not going to say I didn't think it was enjoyable and fun to watch because it was, but Definitely felt a little out of place in this particular season.
Yeah, I just feel like that was, I don't know, it was gratuitous, which is the way The Boys is. I guess I can't really fault it for being over the top, but
Mhm.
at some point there's like a level where you hit so over the top that you actually become really boring. Like, and
I
I
get
kind
it.
of felt like, the love sausage guy with his dick flailing around and stuff. I
I
was
feel
just
like
like,
we've seen that already.
we saw it at the psychiatric hospital. He
Okay.
broke out of the psychiatric hospital in
Oh, that
season
is where
2.
he came from. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So we've seen that before. That wasn't as like crazy. I think the most outrageous part of the whole scene is really getting splooged on. I mean, that's
We'll talk
really
about
like
that.
the most outrageous part of that scene, I think.
That is by far the most outrageous part of this entire show or episode.
I could agree with that. I could agree with
Like
that.
as an adult male, I just have to say, yuck. I
And
did
that
not
and
feel.
well, yeah, it was a little bit weird that they would do that to MM's character and not like
Twice.
somebody twice. Yeah, I don't know, man. We won't get into that, but
Heavy-handed.
very heavy-handed, a little bit sus, a
And
little
it's
bit
this
sus.
this episode, like I said, it had multiple agendas, and that's why I want to just broaden the brush and just call it the agenda because all of those agendas fall in line with um I'll use a term that Blue Hawk used in this episode, the lamestream media,
Yeah,
um, that agenda. But there's
right.
a various amount, and at this point, a convoluted discussion upon any of them. So
He even managed to throw and do your own research in that little snippet of time that he was in there, and I was just
yep.
like, Are we really doing this?
Why is he even here?
Why is he even here?" Exactly.
Oh, that's why he's here. Ah,
Yeah.
got it. That was stupid. But you guys did it.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
everybody, that's another thing. With that whole, and I feel like we're being very, very sidecar about this at the moment, but that's because we haven't quite gotten there. But A Train, it's
Mhm.
like you get an entire full circle moment of from A Train in this episode within what 7 minutes.
Yeah, and then back to the villain again, right?
Mhm. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Within 7 minutes, and
Oh,
there's like two
trust
scenes in
me.
between.
Trust me, if you want to put your critical hat on, I was very set aback by the idea that the two black men in this show were one was demeaned by a white woman
Mhm.
to the point where he couldn't speak his piece. Then the other one gets splooged on, and
Twice.
like twice.
One
and
one by a
yeah,
guy who definitely knows and doesn't like him.
right, right, yeah,
His termite definitely knew who he was. That's why he bumped into him and what's up, bro?
right.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So like I feel like that's like you guys. I don't know. Did you do that on purpose, or was that you know, what was that a mistake?
Well, just be aware that when you're throwing ropes, that is a form of a shot, isn't
Hey, well, there you go. Shots fired, I suppose.
it?
Uh, where do you want to get into this whole thing?
Oh shit. I mean, we went straight to Herogasm because of the fucking name of the episode. But
As you do.
yeah, yeah, as so that's kind of what happens. That's why they name it certain things. And if it's one thing I can say, and I think I've said time and time again, whether it's in this season or other seasons, I always enjoy the titles of these episodes.
Hmm.
They're usually pretty on point. The title itself is usually very good topic for discussion, and it gives you a pretty good understanding. I think we've noted about 2 or 3 episodes, which in 3 seasons wouldn't be bad. That the names are kind of like I don't know why it was named that. That one didn't make sense. So Herogasm, I think, is a great name for this, and not just because of the act of the Herogasm. I really think this episode is an entire climax of being a hero, like for all sides, for all parties. This is the apex of what being a hero is, and from here, it's pretty much downhill.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Or possibly, it seems like it's downhill.
Yeah, it definitely seems like everything is devolving quite a lot. I would agree with that for sure. I think the penultimate point, right, is towards the end. So I don't really want to jump to that
Yeah, yeah, let's
until
not do
we
that.
get there. But maybe we just give like
At the beginning.
a rundown of what happens in this episode, and then we can talk
Yeah.
about like the high points.
Sounds good. So this episode, first we begin with the like I said a moment ago, there's this whole stigma that you have terrorists and bad soups and good soups, and because soups now run Vought, they are the ignorance behind the mouthpieces, and they are doing a terrible job at PR. But they got a celebrity video. What do they call it? Celebrity montage of
Yeah,
a bunch of people singing
the
John
Imagine.
Lennon.
Yeah,
Imagine, thank you. I
yeah.
couldn't remember the name, but I knew it was a John Lennon song. I thought that was a poor choice, song choice.
Oh, but they were directly mocking all of those celebrities
Oh,
that
for
sang
sure.
that song at COVID. Do you remember that?
Oh no.
At the beginning of COVID, there was a whole bunch of celebrities that sang that song just like that, and from their palatial mansions, telling everybody, "Imagine there's no heaven." Yeah, dude, it was That's
It's
what they were
crazy because
making fun of.
I'm pretty sure I saw it. I just don't remember it.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was a big deal when it first happened. It was like the first
Wow.
week of lockdown or something like that.
Yeah, I remember the first. Yeah, shit was different.
Mhm.
Um, but so yeah, that whole celebrity montage with the John Lennon song, and basically we see this poor cover of trying to cover up what's going on in Soldier Boy being alive, and immediately we see Black Noir jump ship.
Mhm.
I think that was the most pivotal part of this entire episode, and it doesn't get revisited aside from when Homelander is told that Black Noir left, that he's got his tracker.
Yeah.
That says a lot.
He's the most affected by it, obviously,
Oh
because
yeah.
he never thought Black Noir would go against him. And it just seems as though Black Noir is sufficiently afraid of Soldier Boy. And
As he should be.
yeah.
What I gather from Black Noir at this point, just paying attention to the lack of his character, but his character in total. Black Noir is not second fiddle in his mind. Payback was his team. In his mind, the Seven is his team. But
Mhm.
he doesn't like being the face. He doesn't like people knowing his whereabouts and keeping tabs on him of that nature. So, because of that, okay, go ahead, Soldier Boy. All right, now I'm tired of your antics. You got to go. Oh, okay, go ahead, Homelander. My question is, was there ever going to be a point where he turned on Homelander, and did he run out of fear that Homelander is going to find out that he had something to do with Soldier Boy's disappearance? Now, I don't think he was
Maybe.
the mastermind behind it, but I think he's the only person capable of actually being able to get it done.
Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest. It does seem like the Black Noir was very shaken up by Soldier Boy's reemergence. I don't know whether it was out of self-preservation or it's more of like he's worried that Homelander will find out, like you said.
Some level
But
of guilt.
it's very clear that he doesn't want any part of it unless he's
Oh,
going rogue to do his own thing, which is also possible, I
it's
guess.
highly possible because he is Black Noir and he works best when no one knows what he's doing.
Hmm.
I mean, but pretty much his biggest skill or his biggest superpower aside from regenerative healing, um, I'm guessing would be just like his reflexes and being a martial artist, right? A
Seems like he
tactician.
has super agility, probably a little bit more like the Batman-esque thing, where he's a very good tactician, very good, trap smith, somebody who could set up
Right.
traps and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking Death Strike or somebody like that. But yeah, for sure Batman because he's beaten his ass a couple times.
Mhm.
Okay, fair. But let's rewind to Black Noir initially getting his face and everything burned. Excuse me, clearly having a regenerating factor, but it didn't work on his face and his head. And that's why he wears the mask and can't talk. And it seems that's the same thing they put inside of Soldier Boy, meaning he's the only person that's ever been able to heal from it.
From the
That
blast, right?
blast, correct.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
means that's the blast that they used in Russia, or where is it? Or no, they weren't in Russia, in Nicaragua when Russia grabbed him.
Right.
And that's how they knocked him out. That's also how they injured Black Noir. So it's inevitable that, Yeah, Black Noir was the only one affected, so he had to be there. Wow, I just put that together right now.
Yeah, and he probably doesn't want anything to do with it because it almost killed him the last time.
For sure. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, can you blame him?
No, definitely not.
Um, so we also find out that Soldier Boy is a fucking junkie. Did we
Oh
already
yeah,
know that?
I guess he likes his benzos. Yeah.
Menzies.
Well, there was like a College Humor video back in the day where if it was like if Captain America really came back to this time and he was talking, and it was like just this racist white dude that was like from the 1940s, like,
He'd
and
just be crushing speed. And...
yeah, just and not want people to mix and all of that stuff, but. Yeah, it was very reminiscent of that. It was very reminiscent of that sketch, having this guy that was like frozen for 50 years, and obviously he's like, what happened to these men? And it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. You got somebody like Huey trying to explain to him what men do nowadays.
Yeah, I thought it was funny when he's trying to explain to him that he needs them, and he's like, do you know what the internet is, or crypto? What is it? Crypto? Oh, I know he said the internet and something else, and he's like,
GPS. And, yeah.
You made those words up.
Right.
I was like, that's a good response. That's a damn good response. You made those words up. Funny. It's like, no, I didn't. But aside from that, because we haven't really gotten there, and all he really does at that point is agree to track down Homelander and kill him or fight him, really. But we saw Kimiko get snatched up, and it was something about Kimiko getting snatched up. Like I said in last episode, I remember she is who she is. So, okay, you don't have powers. That doesn't mean that you're not still who you are. You're still a murdering machine, lady. You just don't have super strength and regenerating. You're not healing anymore. I'd like for her to get that back at this point, if I'm being honest.
Me too. I'm a little bit over this, like her not having any power.
I like Super Kimiko.
Me too. I feel like she's understood the lesson out of it, which is what she says in this episode, where she's like, it was me the whole time. And then Frenchie tells her, like, but it was, you're still good person.
Good person. Yeah. Yeah. That was I thought that was if I'm honest, I think as far as keeping up the same, a lot of the show has been about mental health from the very beginning. Frenchie and Kimiko are a very big part of that. If anything, they're probably the only surviving part of trying to keep your level of humanity intact. And seemingly they're the two that have been the furthest off the cliff, whether or not that's been clear to the audience.
Yeah, and I'm sick of this Nina chick too. I don't know why she's in this. I wish
they'd kill her.
I hope they do. I hope they do. They're gonna kill her this season, obviously, but it should be a glorious death.
I hope Nina gets some temp V and thinks she's going to do something, and then somehow, because what I think is going to happen with Kimiko, I don't think she's going to need the compound V. I think what's going to happen is it's still in her system, and somehow it's just going to be activated by like rage or something.
Or maybe the temp V reactivates it. Yeah, maybe.
Okay, let's stick to science. You're right. It's maybe the temp V will reactivate it. I do expect by the final episode, I don't know if I've said this yet, I expect by the final episode for Temp V to be rolling around like Motrin.
Yeah, I would think that that's where it's headed. You can tell too with the whole Homelander story plot where, we were talking about the last episode, how he seemed a little bit afraid of Soldier Boy, and he was a little bit, but he's also like really afraid of losing the company.
Not being that guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Like not being able to handle the company. And so we're starting to see that more of him where he's like, I can't, he's becoming the guy that's in charge of everything and he hates it.
Which wouldn't you? I mean, he didn't act wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody else is an idiot. Why did the Deep fire all those people?
Super idiot. But we knew he was an idiot long before.
Yeah.
So at that point, we see Starlight trying to trying to get to MM's good side. Like, lady, he's done all the good he can at this point. It's time for him to let the bad man out the bag.
Yeah, a little done with Starlight too, to be honest.
Little done. We've been done with Starlight. What you talking about? When did you get back on the Starlight train?
I haven't actually.
We wanted Annie dead in season 2, sir.
That's true. Yeah, I just don't see her usefulness anymore for the story. It doesn't seem as though.
It seems like in this episode, maybe they're trying to repurpose what her angle is, you know.
Yeah, it seems like she's going to be taking a pretty big departure from what we've seen before, but I don't know what capacity that's going to look like either.
Well, she's the
Who's she going to team up with?
she's the boys now.
Oh, she's going to be the boys now.
Because all the boys are supers. So I mean, they
Right.
might as well have a female soup.
Right, right.
And now that she's rogue, she might be pissed at Huey, but where else is she gonna go?
Yeah, maybe.
You know?
We'll see.
You're working with a murderer, Huey. You sucked a murderer's dick. Shut up.
And she killed the guy for his car. Let's just
Wait,
be
which guy did she
real.
kill for his
Season 2, she killed when Huey's badly injured. They pull over a car and she accidentally kills the guy that they
Oh
robbed.
damn, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, she's killed people before.
Yeah, I mean, what's crazy is I don't remember that, but I do remember how badass she clearly is, and what you were saying about how they like downplay her so much.
Yeah.
I remember her getting destroyed by Black Noir, and all she had was a bloody nose.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was
she's super
smashing her
tough.
through walls and pillars and shit, and she just got up and limped it off. Like,
Yeah, she has super strength. I mean, the only reason she's not stronger than Homelander is Homelander is bigger than her. I think that's really what it comes down to, is that he's just a bigger dude, you know. She's not indestructible like Homelander is, though, I guess.
No. I don't think many people are. I think the only indestructibles, well, clearly we have 3 indestructibles now, which makes me wonder, is the indestructibility a part of their that macho facade, right?
Yeah, maybe.
So you notice it's Homelander, it's Soldier Boy, and then when he's on the Temp V, Butcher.
Mm-hmm.
It's like him and Homelander are damn near the same person, except he can't fly, or he hasn't figured out how to fly yet.
He hasn't figured it out yet.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking he is Homelander, just they have the same powers.
I think the Temp V gives you whatever power you need the most.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, what's making Butcher stronger? Because he looked a lot stronger in this one, but I think that's the drive of the will.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you need, and how much of it, and why, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's a big thing so far with that I'm picking up on with the Temp V.
Mm-hmm.
Because Huey even seems like he got stronger. Like he blinked him in Starlight pretty far away.
Yeah. Definitely.
They hardly heard the blast.
Well, it's gonna be weird about, like they don't have a full. I mean, like they don't have an ever flowing access to that temp stuff, especially with Maeve gone.
Yeah, maybe that's
what are they
one of
gonna
my
do?
questions. That was actually one of my questions. Is how are they gonna get more Temp V with Maeve? We're gonna just say incapacitated. We don't know if she's dead or not.
Yeah.
I still think she might be from Thymera, so you never know.
I think Noir maybe kept her, maybe as a back pocket sort of thing, and maybe he's on his way to go get her.
Maybe. I mean, listen, if I'm being totally honest, I don't think Noir has a side. I think he's for Noir.
Yeah, he's certainly not like the Vought person that he made himself out to be. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. I think he hates Vought as much as anybody else. But if I'm gonna have all of this access, why? Because think about it. What are his options? First off, how old is Noir? He's older than Soldier Boy,
or at least as old,
as Soldier Boy.
Mm-hmm.
So that means he's about as old as Stormfront was as well.
Right.
So it's like, who are you, dude? And keep in mind, he's a black man. So do we find out like that story in Falcon Winter Soldier? The black guy who was held prisoner.
Oh, got experimented on.
Yeah. So was he an experiment or something? Like, these are curious thoughts now.
It would seem all the Payback crew were probably experiments.
Right. At some point.
Yeah.
The twins suck ass.
Yeah,
Anyway.
they do. Yeah, they do.
So then we get A-Train, and he goes to, her name is not, oh no, her name is Ashley. Her name, I was say her name is not Ashley. Her name is Ashley. He goes to Ashley, and I'm sorry. Listen, I loved her reaction to him.
Oh yeah. She hands him his ass.
Yeah, he's not wrong, but he is wrong because you haven't addressed all of the fuck ups you've made over Lord knows how long. I like how when he walks in and it's like he's filled, like you first hear him and you hear everything he's saying, and honestly, you're like, okay, hell yeah, he's standing up for himself. Fine, he's doing something. And then when she starts saying everything, it's like, nah, she right. She
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
She's
you've killed
1,000%
you've killed
right.
4 people, yeah, that
Right.
we had to clean up. Yeah.
Right. We've killed all these people that you've cleaned up, all the collateral damage over time that you've done. And all of a sudden, because you're in the middle of this, or this one affects you, that it's supposed to fucking matter more than everything else you've done. No, fuck you.
Mhm.
And it's like, I said that out loud just now,
Mhm.
thinking, realizing this motherfucker can kill me in this instant.
Yeah, yeah.
But A-Train's
You know,
crazy.
good for her. I mean, she's been
Oh,
terrorized for the past
yeah.
year or whatever.
The more
Um,
Homelander beats her up, the worse she's going to get towards everybody else. I'm just wondering when she's going to go off on him and how that's going to go.
I wonder if she'll get her hands on some temp fee and kill somebody.
I think that's when she's going to try to go against Homelander, and she's still going to die, but it's going to be entertaining.
Maybe. That would be
Because
pretty sweet.
because we have to keep in mind, most of them don't know Temp V exists yet.
That's true.
You know, it was
Right.
May found out about it because she knew somebody who worked in the research department. And the only other person we knew that knew about it was Stan and the guy who brung it to Stan, the military guy, or yeah, the military guy that brought it to no. Stan gave it to was bringing it to the military guy. Sorry, the other way around. But yeah, so the military general, Stan, and Maeve are the only 3 people we know that know about it, aside from Huey and Butcher, which now everybody knows, and Homelander's definitely going to do some research and try to figure out what the hell did William do.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like, so yeah, but I feel like we're jumping around, but we're giving him the goods. So we already talked. Oh yeah, so she confronts him about that whole situation and his collateral damage, and I didn't really understand. Like, I'm starting to feel bad for the Deep.
Oh.
I hate his wife.
Oh, his wife is awful. Yeah. Yeah, but he's a moron, so
Oh,
I guess
he
yeah, what are you
deserves
gonna
it,
do?
but that
Yes.
doesn't mean I shouldn't feel bad for him. You still feel bad
Yeah.
for terrible people who don't. He knows not what he does
I still don't understand. So all he does is has gills, right? How did
Yeah.
he make it to the 7?
because he's a fish man.
He's a
There's no
fish man.
other fish man apparently.
I mean, honestly,
It
it's like
is.
does he even have super strength?
I don't even think he has super strength.
I don't
No.
think so either.
Oh wait, no, yeah, he would have to have super strength because of that moment where he and A-Train hit one another.
Oh,
We know
maybe.
A-Train has super strength because of his speed.
Right.
So yeah,
Right.
he would have to have super strength. And I would assume, even if it's not quote unquote super strength, him being a fish man, he would be easily 3-4 times stronger than a human.
Maybe. Yeah. All right, where are we at here? Let's keep on moving.
So the Deep. And the Deep is now sent to look for trails or remains of Soldier Boy to see if he showed up. And his new wife is a bitch. But something I thought was very important was this is the first time right after that we saw Homelander talking to himself, staring in the mirror like a very Green Goblin-ish.
Mhm.
In fact, I couldn't really think of many other characters who have had a very similar situation where you're staring in the mirror and
Smeagol.
superhero or hero-based characters. But yes,
No,
you were
yeah.
correct. You were absolutely correct. But that I meant more superhero or comic book based.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I couldn't think of anybody other than the Goblin and Smeagol. Actually, because I think Lord of the Rings, we can consider that a manga or something, right?
It doesn't matter. It's fantasy. It's fine.
But yeah, so that whole moment transpired, and I thought the best thing or the most pivotal information to come out of that wasn't that he was talking to himself and all of that junk and how he felt about everybody else. We know he's crazy, but that moment where he has that talk with himself about, you know what it is because you still want to be loved. Say it, you little bitch. Like,
Mhm.
and like he feels like he still has this human part left in him that he has to get rid of, and it's like, come again, like. Do you know how crazy you are, sir? Like, honestly, do you? Because that's nuts.
Yeah, I would like to see Homelander do something instead of just be crazy.
I thought we were gonna get it soon, and
Yeah.
this
I
episode drug him backwards for me.
It did, definitely. I would like to see him lose it a little bit more than Because right now, all he's doing is just kind of like whining to himself and sort of like falling apart, which is interesting because at the beginning of this, he's like very
Domineering.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now he's like
But
can't handle things anymore.
right, but Stan Edgar said this is who he really was, and that people would see it. Maybe,
Right.
maybe he wasn't talking about the general public, but us as the audience.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah, I mean it's fair. Look, he's got a lot of messed up qualities about him, so it's not unconvincing that he would be falling apart right now. I would just assume that he would lash out more, and he really hasn't lashed out at all.
I have. Yeah, I don't know. Has he even killed anybody this season? Just the girl off the top of the building, huh?
Didn't even really kill her, just kind of
Made
let
her
her
jump.
die, made her
Yeah.
jump. Yeah.
He hasn't
Yeah.
killed anybody. Oh no, he killed Alex,
Oh, right.
and we
Right.
didn't see him kill Alex, so I don't buy it. I
Yeah.
only count Homelander deaths that we see. Oh, he killed
Yeah.
Termite. He killed Termite this episode. I
Oh,
think
he
that was
squashed him. That's right. He stepped
I
on him.
thought that was an accident, honestly.
He probably was. He probably didn't even notice.
Right. But so we find out Soldier Boy hates the twins, but he loved Bill Cosby and he remembers Bill Cosby as America's dad. And he also remembered that Bill made some pretty strong fucking drinks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I just enjoyed that all Huey said was, that's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's not. Well,
Yeah, like let's not do this. And I was glad that that's all he said because the joke was enough. It was perfectly timed. It was perfectly placed. And the best thing you could do is just leave it at that and not try to make this big moment of it.
Yeah, of course.
Subtle works really well when you're doing the underhanded thing. That was pretty underhanded, but subtle always works better when you're working in that realm because other than that, you start to look like an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
And I laughed 3 times. But I like also that they continue to let Soldier Boy talk about his feeling of betrayal and why he didn't feel like he needed another team because he felt betrayed and he felt robbed of an entire life. Like he still viewed himself, unlike Homelander, as a human. He wanted to have a family. He wanted to have kids. He wanted a wife he wanted Crimson Countess as his wife. You don't get those things from Homelander. Homelander is working the opposite way. He doesn't want to be human in any way, even though he has a son. He wants to just be this monster or this domineering force. And that was kind of a shift for me. It made me like Soldier Boy. I don't think he's supposed to be likable.
I don't know. I don't know if we're supposed to know how we're supposed to feel about him just yet, because really, at least in my opinion, I don't think that we do know what to think about him because he's not really evil. He hasn't done anything evil. Like he didn't intentionally blow up that building.
Everything big has been an accident.
Yeah, and he was a victim of experimentation and all of that kind of stuff. So it would be interesting if there's going to be some parallels there with Homelander. Maybe Homelander gets incapacitated and sold off to some other country or corporation. That would be kind of interesting.
And Soldier Boy has to go save him.
Or or they make him even worse, and then they unleash him on the world.
Or if they turn him into a poodle.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to the Herogasm thing because that's really where all of the stuff happens at the show.
Right. So we see everybody shooting up they Tim V. They getting ready to go do the thing. The Deep gets to the Herogasm. Well, really quick before we get to Herogasm though, because the next scene after this is Herogasm. We have 2 scenes before Herogasm. So first you have Homelander going off on the news anchor because, media tactics of today. And he just felt like it was too far. And if we're being honest, shit, we all feel that way when we're watching the news and interviews.
I don't really understand what I know. Oh, of course I do understand. Stop saying I don't understand. I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to make this whole Trump, fake news, media, all this stuff. And it's just like, but he is kind of right in some respects, Homelander, when he says people don't trust you. It's like, well, okay, so if people don't trust you, do you look at yourself and say, what are we doing to make them not trust us? Or do you just make fun of those people?
And most people just make fun of those people, or at least in
Right.
the media, they just make fun of those people.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's where it's the ironic thing of Homelander in this particular season, where it's like he's the bad guy, but he's not, because you're making all of these relative societal points that you're only making to gain popularity, but they're real points,
Hmm.
and they really need to be handled on certain levels.
Right.
So that happens. Then you have her Victoria and Starlight in their discussion, where Victoria tries to partner up with Starlight to try to, go around, over and beyond Homelander. Um, she turns that down. She turns that down, which it's Starlight. Did you ever see her taking somebody else's help other than Huey, who she's gonna call a douchebag every chance she gets? No. Um, that's just what she's gonna do, right?
I don't know why she didn't take Victoria's help. Like,
Because she's afraid of her, and she still thinks she knows she wants to sleep with Huey, so she's hating. It's the only thing. It's that's hate, bro. I
she
don't
just
know.
want to be with Huey anyways. What? I mean, honestly, I don't understand why she decided not to take Victoria Newland's help, because obviously she's a very powerful ally to have.
Oh yeah, she definitely needs it.
And she definitely needs it. Yeah. And she even said, like, I could protect you from Homelander, which means she thinks that she could pop Homelander's head.
Yep, that's exactly what she
So,
thinks.
I mean, that's interesting.
And
Yeah.
I think she's been creating, because at this point it's clear that she creates little air pockets in your head, pressure pockets, excuse me, or in different parts of the body. She can create pressure pockets anywhere that there's space.
Mhm.
Even after that little discussion she and Starlight have, she makes her nose bleed, and that's when it became evident to me exactly what her power was. It's like, oh, okay, you can create space, or you can create pressure in the gaps and capillaries in the body.
Or
Um,
she could just be a very powerful telekinetic. I mean, or yeah.
that
She
would
might
be
be able to
even
move things
scarier.
with her brain. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be even scarier if
Yeah.
it's that level. We haven't seen her do anything
Yeah. She
telekinetic
hasn't
based
moved
yet.
stuff. Yeah.
But if that's the case and she's only been doing it this way, that means she's that powerful that she just chooses this. That's scary.
Mhm.
Um, but because she made her nosebleed, that was the thought it gave me. Like, okay, she's able to create pressure pockets in different areas, and
Mhm.
like she was making her brain swell. She made her brain swell just enough to make her nosebleed, and then she stopped.
Mhm.
And I'm thinking what she's probably been doing with Homelander is she's probably been placing like little mini grenades in his brain.
Maybe.
You
Yeah.
know,
Stress testing it. Yeah.
exactly,
Maybe
exactly.
that's why he's going crazy too.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. All that
Maybe.
pressure on her brain, and he already had some issues, and it seemed like a lot of his psychotic episodes kicked up around the time he met her.
Yeah. It's possible. I mean, it would be kind of cool to see what her angle is, because she's
Mhm.
obviously vying for something too. I mean, she sold out her adoptive father,
Oh yeah,
and
I
now
think she
she's
thinks
kind of
she's the
doing her own
strongest.
thing.
Yeah, I think she thinks she's the strongest soup out there.
Maybe
I
I'd
think
like to
she
see
really
that
believes
put
she's
to
the
the
top.
test, because she doesn't have super strength. All she does is
I don't
have
think so either.
she only has that sort of popping ability. So,
Right. Oh yeah, it's clear
um,
she doesn't, because she was tussling with old boy.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
no, but I that's what I believe. I think she thinks she's the top of the food chain. I'd say she's about the middle of the food chain personally, but that's just
yeah, I mean, like, she could do effectively because nobody knows that that's her power.
right.
You
What if
know,
everybody knew who she was and what it was like, bruh, we just gonna not
yeah,
be around you.
yeah. I mean, somebody like A Train would just run up at her and tear her apart
Mhm,
really quick. You know,
mhm. I assume somebody smack her in the ear, throw off her equilibrium. That's her power gone.
right? Or gouge her eyes out, because it has something to do
Oh,
with her
definitely.
eyes too.
Yeah, you gouge her eyes out. That's a wrap.
Yeah.
She gonna be walking around.
Yeah.
Um, So yeah, oh yeah. So the next thing for me is Kimiko is badass. She does not need superpowers, but I would like to see her get them back.
Yeah, she also doesn't not need them, because I don't know.
Well,
At this point, like, I guess she could just be a normal person, but then Frenchie and her should just go and leave. They
right, but
shouldn't be a part of the team anymore.
she's also clearly not normal. So we saw them all kidnapped and all of that go down. She breaks herself out. She kills the guy, scares the shit out of little Nina because she doesn't realize, like, yeah, she wasn't just a soup. Like, she really is that person.
Mhm.
Um, But it's the scene, it's the scene where she's getting beaten. Like when dude is pummeling her, She is
Mm.
bleeding out. He has broken Lord knows how many ribs. And she still has the wherewithal to not only get the weapon, stab him, kill him, and they escape.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
not
know.
normal.
It didn't seem normal to me either. So it could be that maybe she is having portions of her regeneration come back.
Mhm.
There might be like a time limit to the blast. I mean, the blast is like a nuclear blast, so it was only that.
Effects could wear off.
Yeah, so maybe it was just that there was it was such a strong blast that her body needed time to rebounce back, because
Possible.
it's a nuclear blast. So maybe there's excess radiation. Maybe once her body's cleared of the radiation, her regeneration comes back. I don't know.
It's possible because that does we've seen that in a lot of other shows and movies and lores for people who can regenerate, but they might need to go into an incubator or something for X amount of weeks.
Yeah,
In
because
order to grow back.
Soldier Boy just evaporated a whole house full of people.
Right.
So, I mean, and Kimiko took that blast head on. So
Mhm.
I don't know. I mean, maybe she would have been disintegrated otherwise.
Yeah, yeah, seemingly so. Looking at the people at Herogasm, yeah,
Mm.
seemingly so. So anyway, they escape little Nina, but then MM and Starlight they're on their way to Herogasm, and we find out the story of MM waking his grandfather up to see Soldier Boy outside, and Soldier Boy throwing a Mercedes Benz through their home and killing his grandfather, which triggered him and turned him into the guy he is today. But right after we get that story, they arrive at Herogasm and they meet the Love Sausage, which I don't know. That was a weird shift. Like we go from this sad moment to now we're walking into an orgy.
How is even having like a retractable penis a superpower? Like, what is it for other than sex? I mean,
For shows,
does he swing around on it? Like, I don't
maybe
know.
it looks like that
Maybe
thing has a whole mind of its own. Like it's like he could just
like
have
it's a
a
Doc
freak show.
Ock arm.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
I'm like somebody. Nah, never mind. I'm about to say like somebody should circumcise that kid.
Yeah. Anyways, we get a whole bunch of debauchery. Honestly, there was nothing too crazy about any of it except for MM getting jizzed on. The
Right.
rest of it was pretty tame. It was just a
Pretty tame.
whole bunch of women with fake boobs.
Yeah.
Like,
That's pretty much it. It was more tame than I expected. I expected it to be a little crazier. I feel
yeah.
like the termite sex party was crazier.
Yes.
Um,
Me too. Yeah.
but yeah, so they get to Herogasm, and Herogasm is where a bunch of sealess soups come together each year to splooge all over one another. And they didn't splooge too much over one another, but they definitely splooged all over MM.
Yep.
That
Yep.
shit was gross. And I'm with Nick when I say I don't understand why the black guy had to be the one that got jizzed on. And
And
he
then he got
definitely
called the chocolate bear.
yeah, he said, lick, they said, lick it up, you chocolate bear. Like, what? Like, all
Yeah.
right, look, let me tell you how many lines you just crossed here.
Right. Like
And
all of
also
them.
MM is seemingly the most masculine, but the least domineering of all of the characters. So for
Mhm.
that to happen to him, it's just a ultra level of disrespect. And that's
Yeah.
where I totally understood where you were coming from with that one. Because it's like, come on, you the most respectful person in the entire group, that's who gets it.
There's a term for it, and it rhymes with muckraking.
I don't want to know.
Yeah. No, yeah, I know. But that's kind of what it was to me. It was like, oh, okay, you're gonna do that to MM, huh?
That's what they did, man. But and from there, we see Starlight trying to convince Blue Hawk to leave the party because Soldier Boy's on his way, but he's falling for the Homelander lies and deceit about the lamestream media and how they have made these things up. And I'm like, bruh, you are a soup. You know he's an asshat, and you know that it's a lie. Are you stupid?
Yeah, of
But
course. But he has to have those opinions because he's, all lives matter, dude.
right, and I was just about to say,
So,
but that shows you how deep some of these people get into their characters to where it reminds me of Kobe Covington in the UFC. You know, it's like he has to play his or you know what? I'm sorry to even have named any names, but any heel, um, in any of these professional fighting and all, the storylines, you always have to have a heel. Somebody has to be the bad guy. And sometimes you have people who believe too hard in the character that they're playing. And then you have people who they know they're playing a character and that's just not who they are in real life.
Mm.
But that's what he reminded me of, the guy who goes too far. Now, I mentioned the name, so I want to make it clear. I don't believe that guy actually believes his character, but he plays his character to its full, its entirety, to the end.
And yeah, so that's the whole situation that goes on with the Blue Hawk.
But I love that Starlight's the one who caught the deep fucking an octopus.
Oh yeah, that again was that to me. It was just kind of cringe too.
Because they keep going back to it. I mean,
yeah,
he fucked a squid in season 1, and then you had him eat a squid in this season, and now he's fucking another one. Like, all right, you know what? Make up your mind.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I thought by now they was gonna have him hating fish or something.
Right. Yeah. Just I don't know. It's just he's just there to be the buffoon. I almost feel like kill him off too. There's a lot of characters that can die in this show right now.
I think that's the point. They're not supposed to be likable. I don't think Starlight's supposed to be likable.
I agree. I just think that they're kind of ancillary and excess to the main story at this point. It's like just get rid of them.
Do you want this to be the last season, Nick? Is that
like
what you
dead weight? No, I don't know, but I hope that the next season's the last season because I can see where it's going to start.
Nobody wants to see season 8. I get it.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to start sagging story-wise soon, and I don't know how many more seasons they have of this. So I think wrapping it up next season would be good.
You hitting the wrap it up button? Wrap it up.
Wrap it up, yeah. Because I can see the writing on the wall. Like anything past season 4 is probably going to be a mistake. So
okay, I understand. We have our opinions definitely about this season, so it can't get too much better unless they have some things in tuck that they threw away to make this longer.
Yeah.
But either way, I forgot to mention, Soldier Boy and Stormfront founded Herogasm in 1952.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a whole thing. I wonder if Noir was invited.
Who knows? I don't know, man. Who knows? Anyways, we gotta get through this. I feel like we've been building up to the.
No, yeah, we're almost there. We're right around it. So here we are at now. Huey sees A-Train at Herogasm, and first A-Train sees Huey and he's just like, "Look, I know you like to fuck soups, bro, but nah, not me." And he just lets it go. And I am ashamed and tired of fucking Huey about certain things. Like, bruh, grow up.
Yeah, I agree. Huey's annoying me too in this season, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And his whole thing with Starlight at, when he teleports them out is also one of those like, can you guys just stop talking to each other, please? Like it's torture. It's torture to have you guys interact with each other now.
What are you doing here? No, don't do it. Like,
you
saved me. That's all I've ever wanted to do. You said you didn't have to say. You told me you didn't like flowers, bitch. That's what you sound. That's what she sounded like. You never buy me flowers. You said you didn't like flowers on our first date. That's exactly what she sounded like.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
that's
like,
exactly it. Yeah,
lady, do you or don't you want a guy who actually cares about you? Now, is he going too far? Maybe, but maybe you should sit down and explain and talk to him instead of just expecting him to know.
Well, that, and like every healthy relationship has a sort of give and take when it comes to power dynamics, and really Huey is on the bottom every single time. You know what I mean? Like he's never had the upper hand in the relationship as far as power goes. And normally in a healthy relationship, you want to pass that between the two parties. But Starlight's always had all the power. She's had all the cards. She's had all of the, like he had to be the one to grovel to her. And it's just like, all right, well, yeah, I don't blame him for feeling like he never gets to, contribute to the relationship.
Or even stand up for himself.
Or even stand up for himself.
That instance. Because even before that happens is when he stands up to A-Train, which, again, this is where I feel like he was being a child because wrong place, wrong time, buddy.
Yeah.
And the fact that you have to do it on Temp V says a lot. And that's where I realized.
It's the fake courage, right?
Right. Temp V is like, it's that placebo. It's liquor. It's weed, coke, whatever it is. And he needed that courage. He needed that liquid courage to confront A-Train. Now, what I thought was, and this is where I really got pissed off with Huey particularly, A-Train is having a change of heart as a character. Now, doesn't mean he's gonna be a better person, but he has having a come to life moment
Mhm.
where he realizes, ah, shit, this is what I've been doing to people,
Yeah.
and that doesn't mean he warrants any forgiveness. I think he still needs to get his ass beat. I have no problem if somebody killed. Well, but
But he apologized.
he did
Huey,
apologize.
Huey asked for an apology, and he gave a genuine apology.
A
You know.
genuine apology. Like
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, he mean that one. Hugh boy, he real. Let that fly. Let
Mhm.
that fly. He real. That was solid.
Yeah.
Nope, not Huey.
No.
He
I'm gonna
has to
punch
wind
you.
that thing up like a
Yeah.
little league pitcher, and wow. Now that's when I'm also like, you literally just gave up your ace in the hole.
Yep. Yep.
And if Homelander didn't show up, it would have been bad news bears. But Homelander showed up, so now he know anyway.
Right.
But you punch this dude like he's not gonna feel the fact that you have super strength now, because
Yeah,
he has
exactly.
super strength.
Right. Yeah. He wouldn't have even moved if you didn't have the V, and he still barely moved.
Barely moved.
Yeah, like
Because
so.
you don't know your level of power. He knows how strong he is.
Right. Right.
And he's like, how did you do that? What? I'll do it again. No, how the fuck did you do that?
Yeah.
Like, and you saw the old A Train come back in that moment.
Hmm.
And I really enjoyed that scene, but fast forward a little bit, I did not like the full circle. We could have they could have waited this to the next episode, but he did it at the perfect time. When everything's going bad at Herogasm, he finds his moment to basically assault and kill Blue Hawk.
Yep.
Now, how he kills him is the dumbest way to kill that man. You had your super strength, and you could have just killed him with your super strength, and you would have been fine. But you killed him with your super speed, the one thing that can kill you.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was dumb. But okay, so here we go again, right? This is the being on the nose, so on the nose that it hurts. That is the way that some black people were killed back in the day, by being dragged by a horse until
right.
they were dead.
Shit,
So
I
the
forgot.
show
Wow, I was not
wanted to do the same thing to the racist white person, drag him until he died.
Yeah. Wow.
You know, this is where I'm like, okay, stop, please stop. You know, like,
And it's funny because I didn't even catch that, but you're
Yeah.
absolutely right. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right. That's exactly what that was.
Mhm.
And yeah. So I have to say, I believe the tie-in of him having his heart attack at the end is some of those stories go as they were horses that were just sent out. So it's not like somebody went out to find it.
No.
And so until the horse died, you being drugged.
Pretty much, yeah. Or until you fall apart. Usually, you would just
You
fall
fall apart
apart.
first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Damn, I did not think about that. And that just had me all the stories and shit you learn when you're in school. You're like, oh God,
Right.
did you read some stuff? You learn more? That just did that for me.
Yeah. Not a good way to die. That's for sure.
For sure. Not
Yeah.
at all.
But
So
bad for A Train, because you're right. Like, he knows he has heart issues. You know, like, you knew you could have just punched through his head if you wanted to.
I mean, he
Yeah,
had already slammed him.
he could
and
have
I'm
done
pretty
like
sure he's
he
dead.
could have done like the Flash and had like the vibrating hands and just phased right
Into
into him, and that would have been it.
Yank his heart out or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways he could have did that. He definitely could have did that. But you're right. That's how they tied that in. And with that coming up, me not realizing that in that moment, but you bringing it up and me thinking about it in this moment, I can see why.
Mhm.
And wow, that happened.
Yep.
So Huey and Starlight, they see Soldier Boy. Huey teleports her out. They have that little cringy moment. And basically, they just argue. We just gonna leave it at that. They argue. She says he's an asshole, and she realizes who he's been the whole time. And yeah, this is who he's been the whole time. Somebody who loves you.
Yeah, her answer to him was so icy, dude. Like, he was being honest about it, you know, like, that's okay. And see, this is my biggest problem, right? It's like, you want men to not be toxic and talk about their feelings, but the moment they do, you're like, you little bitch.
Right. He's not forcing her down on her knees.
Stop being a little bitch about it.
Right. He's not forcing her on her knees to suck her dick on the first day of work. So why would she respect him?
Right. Well, yeah, you know, I mean, yeah, the deep gets more respect at this point. So
He literally did in this episode.
yeah.
She had all the blackmailing power and was like, "Wait, what are you saying? Talk to me. What are we talking
Mhm.
about? Blackmail him and get the information. What's wrong with you?"
Right. Right.
But hey, whatever. You got new friends now. Um, but so then we see the twins, and the twins tell Soldier Boy that Noir was the lead on him getting set up, which he didn't really believe. But I can understand that it could be partially true from what I said a little earlier. And after that, it's pretty much the Russian music. Soldier Boy wasn't intended on hurting anybody,
Yeah.
like
Well,
anybody,
except for the twins.
except for the twin. Well, he said he might not kill them if they give up the information.
Right.
And this was also after he saw MM. MM tried to hit him with the halothane, didn't work.
He took a hit of it.
Took a hit of it. Literally took a
Yeah.
hit of it. Like, oh, halothane. Like, whoa. Like, all right, hey, don't get that man no more good weed. That's
Right.
crazy. Look, and he just wasted your shit. He just tossed it all to the side. He only hit it once.
Mhm.
But either way, MM was ready to face off with him, and Butcher's like, not this one. And it's like, whoa. And then of course MM and Butcher face off, but that's another conversation. Nothing really goes bad or happens there.
No. Just keeping him
lets
back
steam
while he goes after the twins.
Yeah, MM just lets some steam off basically.
Yeah.
Which at this point it's like, Butcher, that's nasty, bro. That's how you do your boy? That's foul.
Hey, it's a means to an end, right? He can't have he can't have Soldier Boy dead because he's trying to get him with Homelander. And now we see with the next scene that it's going to take both of them to hurt Homelander.
It's gonna, yeah, and that, oh my god. So we see that whole thing go down. They try to kill. Well, first we see Homelander gets mad when he sees them together, and he's like, "That wasn't the deal. Like, deal's off." Bink, and he tries to kill Butcher, only to discover Butcher ain't dead. He's still here, which throws him at first, and he's like, "What did you do?" Like, and he doesn't seem pleasantly intrigued. He seems negatively intrigued. Like,
He
what
seems
did you do?
annoyed.
Like, no, yeah, like this was supposed to be easy. What are you doing?
Right.
And while watching that entire fight, and then Huey blinking in to come help, which I didn't really understand, but it happened. Who also has super strength. I guess super strength is kind of just a staple.
Unless you're
Victoria Newman.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't get it. Like, I don't know why Huey would have super strength as well.
Or maybe you get super strength if you class into like the A and B categories of power. So maybe teleportation is up there.
Also, if Huey can hold Starlight to teleport, there's no reason they can't bring their clothes with them.
I thought that in that
you're
moment,
touching the clothes too.
Yeah, I thought that in that moment. But what I think happens is it's what he thinks about is teleporting. So he's only thinking about the people. He's not thinking about the clothes.
Maybe.
I'm not sure if that makes sense, but because that would mean he's not a teleporter, he's a telekinetic.
I have no idea.
Or no, would that be that would be a form of telepathy, I think. But either way, I'm digging now. So either way, they have their fight, and eventually Homelander has a bout of rage to escape before Soldier Boy can charge up and blast him with the beam. We don't know where he runs to or what he does. We do eventually see him staring later at the Vault Tower, but I'm thinking he might have done something before that, and I'm expecting things to get really hectic with Homelander. And
he just got his ass. He just got his ass kicked, so he's gonna be real pissed off soon.
He's definitely gonna find a way to get that last piece of human about him.
And Soldier Boy and Butcher will destroy him the next time they see him. So they
would definitely destroy him.
He's on notice now.
Because now that he knows, first, his confidence and his ego is broken. They're aware that they have the upper hand, and they're also aware of how to kill him. Because he's clearly afraid of Soldier Boy because he realizes, wait, this could actually happen.
Yeah.
So if I'm strong enough to hold you down, that means every other power I have is definitely strong enough to take you out. But after that, sorry.
No, yeah. What else? What happens? Starlight. Right.
Starlight. I guess this is her best moment of the entire series.
I suppose. I like that they shoehorn that she has 194 million subs on Instagram or whatever.
Huge point they made in this entire episode. You have 193 followers. Let's use your influence. I have 193 followers, and I'm going to use them. The worst
Yeah.
thing Homelander did was going to give me influence.
Right. It's my superpower now is influence.
Like, okay, Flower Child.
Right.
Flower
Oh
Child
God.
74, Starlight from Idaho or Iowa, or wherever she's from.
Yeah.
But
Well, I don't know what that's gonna bring her. So she quits,
so I
right?
have a theory. Yes.
Mhm.
So Annie January has come back and Starlight is no more. Hashtag Vault Light people died. Hashtag believe Starlight. Um sorry, I got a kick out of that when I was
So
writing
stupid.
it down.
I like that there were 15 million people in the stream and the chat was going so slow. I was
Yeah,
like,
because
I'm
only like
sorry. If you've seen 1,000 people in a stream, that chat, you can't
boom,
even read it.
it's boom. And that's only because like 8 people were talking.
Right.
But I think what it's gonna do is it's gonna give her that, like she said, that platform that she had the ability to speak to the masses. And what it can do is it can bring the humans who are willing to fight out. It can bring those other soups, especially now that Soldier Boy and Homelander are being grouped together now as both bad guys. And they're both being held responsible at this point, it seems, for the massacre, which I'm sure is what they'll be calling it, at Herogasm. So you have a bunch of soups dead and a couple of humans dead. Everybody who doesn't see themselves as a part of the elite is going to be behind her now, because they're all going to see themselves as a part of the little man problem, because they know Vault would have covered it up. All these B-list and D-list heroes died. It wasn't Homelander. It wasn't Maeve. It wasn't Starlight or any of them. So they know it wouldn't have made the news. And I think that's the angle, is the power of the people, the masses of in diplomacy.
I just don't understand what I don't understand what disclosing to the public that it's Soldier Boy does. Aside
It just,
from sort of, like throw a monkey wrench into everything.
yeah, Vault Light people died. That's it.
Yeah. So basically it's just to screw up Vought.
And who owns Vault? Who runs Vault?
Right. Homelander. Yeah.
Right. And that's why her whole thing is that's who they're going after, right? So that's who I'm attacking. It's not so much as attacking Vault, but Vault has protected Homelander. Vault is Homelander. Homelander is Vault.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. We'll see. How many episodes are here in this? 8?
I believe it
9?
is 9. I believe there are 9, but they're not posted. So who knows? Maybe it'll hit us with 12 or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't really know what else we can add into this episode. I mean, like somebody's gonna have to die, right? Somebody's got to die at the end of this. I
I
don't
thought
know
we were going to
who,
get a
but
death or two in this episode, but somebody's got to die. Somebody's gonna die soon.
yeah,
I'm not sure who. Clearly, it's not Frenchie and Kimiko. So
yeah, they've been pushing that. They've been teasing that this whole season. So maybe they won't, but then maybe they will. Maybe they've just that's all been foreshadowing.
I think it's going to be MM.
Could be MM.
MM or Butcher.
Yeah, I don't see it being Butcher, to be honest, because Carl Urban is such a big character in that show. It's like it'd be very difficult to carry on the seasons without him. But yeah, I guess you could probably. They are sort of positioning MM to sort of have a closure at the end of this. So
right, maybe Laz Alonso got some movies coming up and he need his time back.
Yeah, maybe maybe he dies taking out Soldier Boy, and that's sort of his thing.
I'm definitely thinking it's going to be Soldier Boy related. I honestly think at some point MM is going to end up with the Temp V, not because he wants to, because he thinks he has to, and then he's going to get killed while.
I could see it where it's like, Butcher throws him a syringe while Soldier Boy's trying to kill him. Yeah, I could see that happening for sure.
Because at a point, I believe Butcher's not going to let Soldier Boy do anything outside of what they've agreed to.
Yeah, I agree.
Off track, it's going to go bad.
The problem is, I feel like Soldier Boy's going to find out how shady Butcher is and turn on him.
Turn on him instead. That's possible.
Yeah,
and Butcher's pretty shady. He's a shady ass Homelander.
Well, I mean, he knows that, like, if he finds out that Butcher is anti-soup,
true.
What are you gonna do?
He's very pro soup still,
yeah.
And seeing as how him and Stormfront were a fling, we know for sure he's pro soup.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, so I could see where Butcher screws up, and then Soldier Boy finds out about. Then it's like Soldier Boy versus Butcher versus Homelander, sort of like Royal Rumble going
Oh
on.
God! So season 4 is going to be a Royal Rumble.
I
Jesus
think the
Christ!
end of this season is going to be like a fight between all three of them
Mhm.
against each other.
Again, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, but yeah. So Annie January is back, and she quits. That's where we black screen it.
No, good riddance, go retire. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. But again, she's going to become Flower Child 779.
Mhm.
Straight out of Idaho, and she's gonna be the regular person influencer soup.
Mm. Sounds good. All right. Well, anything else we got that we wanted to add before we wrap this up?
Add no, but I am curious as to how strong Homelander really is. I'm also
Yeah.
curious as to how the Temp V works and how strong Butcher really is.
He's obviously not Superman strong.
Obviously not. We
Yeah.
thought he was. And that also made what I thought about in this episode. Obviously not Superman strong, because if Superman were in that situation and he knows what the yellow sun does to him, he's just gonna find a way to get into the sun as he's in the middle of that
Mhm.
fight. And there is nothing that Homelander can rely on to that nature.
Yeah, Homelander could just take both of them up into space if he wanted to.
I'd assume on the Temp V, Butcher would be fine, and Soldier Boy too. They just can't fly.
They'd just be floating out in the atmosphere. They'll die eventually.
Yeah, I think they'd eventually freeze just floating around, no
Mhm.
oxygen. But I think it wouldn't be like an instant death thing, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, probably not. All right. Well, we good?
I think we are good to go. Episode 6 is a wrap. I didn't have a Herogasm, for the record.
Me neither. I thought it was just okay.
Yeah.
I think it was fine.
Second base.
Yeah, we'll see the rest of this season. I'm not exactly sure where this one adds up. But so far it's pretty decent. But again, I don't know, there's something missing. There's something
From this season, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not quite the same, but we'll see. We'll
Yeah.
definitely find out what it is that they're holding back, if it is that they're holding back, or maybe this is just what they're giving us.
Yeah, for sure. All right, cool. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. We hope that you enjoyed this episode. I certainly did. What did you guys think of The Boys? Did you like it? What did you think of the Herogasm? Would you go to something like that? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for checking us out tonight. We are here every Wednesday and Sunday at 8:30 p.m. for you, reviewing movies and TV shows and just talking general shit. And please join us at Screen Time Continuum. We're also on Thinkering Talks at Facebook, where you can get all of our podcasts that we do. Let's see, where will we start? Keelan has a podcast Tuesday nights. It's called If Numbers Could Talk, and it's Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. So be sure to go check him out and give him a thumbs up on Facebook, on YouTube, on Spotify, anywhere you get your podcast. If Numbers Could Talk, Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Go check him out. Wednesday, Sundays, Screen Time Continuum. We're here on YouTube and Facebook. You can check us out there. Thursdays and Tuesdays is Dijon the Mustard, friend of the podcast, got a Twitch channel called Strawberries and Coffee, where you can go check out all of his Twitch channel or Twitch streamings of video games. He's got a deep catalog of games that you've probably played in your childhood and maybe you want to relive. Go check him out, Strawberries and Coffee on Twitch, also on YouTube as well. Let's see. Friday night is Exofathom at 8 p.m. That's me and my wife, Ayla. We're going to be doing an episode next week on Prometheus, so check that out. 8 p.m. Exofathom on YouTube and on Facebook, Rumble, Odyssey, Verbal, anywhere you get your podcast. And last but not least, Sunday morning for your chill weekend, we have This Married Moment with Keelan and Bobby. Goes on around 10 a.m. Saturday mornings. So go check that out. That is a great show, a great little podcast for you to listen to while you're making breakfast, cleaning the house, doing a little chores. It's always good. Pop that on This Married Moment. That's on Facebook, on YouTube, also on Spotify. This Married Moment with Keelan and Bobby, Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. So go check them out.
Good hangover remedy.
That's right, for sure. It's a great show. Go check it out. But yeah, if you just want to hear us blabber on about movies and TV and critique things for which we have no credentials to critique, thank you for taking this trip through the Screen Time Continuum. If you're curious about my little poster here that I got, let me see if I can move. There we go. This artist is called Laura Zombie, and she has a pack of 64 cards that she calls the Unmentionables. And it's a pack of watercolor cards that she's done of all different types of pop culture. So you'll probably see this change once in a while, and it's because she's got a great set on her website at Laura Zombie. So go check her out. She's great. One of our favorite artists here. And it's got a lot of great, awesome designs. You got the Joker there. We got X-23 and Logan. We got Wonder Woman. We got Catwoman. I'll be changing them periodically, so be on the lookout for that. Until next time, guys, for Screen Time Continuum, I am Nick.
And I'm Keelan.
Good night.